Can you believe this thing launched at a price of $100 less than the MacBook Neo? That price is even more surprising when you consider the fact this is like a first-gen product. The stuff we got nowadays, like the Vision Pro, $3,500 easy. Wait a sec, what the hell is in this box? It's just like a bunch of cut-up cardboard? Ah, it's probably just for the packing. Well, here's the iPad itself. Alright, while we unbox this, you're probably thinking, whoa, first-gen product, new thing on the market, $500, what's the drawback? You get a grand total of 2 OS updates for this thing. Now, aside from the software support, the build of the original iPad is kind of weird, actually. We're missing both the rear and the front camera, and you kind of got like an iPhone 3GS design with the curved back here. The thicker curved back design of the original iPad actually really sticks out when you place it on top of the second generation model. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you, this is my first time actually holding an iPad one, so when I saw that taking out of the box, I thought the battery was gonna like blow up. Oh, and speaking of design, the iPad 1 kind of did the same thing the iPhone 4 did by having like the shaved off edges here, but on the iPad 2, which was just a year after, nice and round. Or at least it was nice and round until the 2022 redesign that makes it uncomfortable to hold. Yeah, you hear that, Apple? Bring back the curves, okay? I like my iPads how I like my women. Anyways, I think that's enough about the build of the thing. Let's turn it on and explore. Whoa, what's up with the viewing? Oh, you know, yeah, this was before the Retina display. Now, iOS 5 was the one that, like, introduced iCloud. I think maybe it was the one that brought in multitasking, or was that 4? Oh, also, a fun fact, apparently the pre-iOS 7 screen, you gotta hold the iPad in portrait mode to set it up. Uh-oh, looks like we're running into our first server issue here. Every single time I hit activate this iPad, it loads for a couple seconds and just kicks me back to this screen. Alright, well, I guess it's just time to hook this thing up to iTunes. Hold on, wait a second. That doesn't mean it's activation locked, does it? Activating and... oh, okay, wow, just like that. Well, once I connected it to the computer, activation was pretty easy. Are other servers down for this, or like, what's going on? I guess we'll find out by trying to sign in with our Apple ID. Oh. Okay, well, there goes that. Terms and conditions. Okay, come on, dude, you have this much screen space and you make it this small. You're just trying to make it hard to read. Thank you, your iPad is now set up. You're ready to start using the most advanced iOS ever. Yeah, I'm sure. And now that we're done with setup, all activated, connected to the internet, I hope you're ready to do just absolutely jack shit on this iPad, okay? Can't do anything. You know, it's like, oh, hey, let's go into iTunes, but no, you can't. Cannot connect to the store. What about the App Store instead? Yeah, same diff. So instead, you're probably thinking, okay, you know what, I'll just use Safari. There's gotta be like web apps for everything. Yeah, good luck finding one that's supported. I bet if I search YouTube into Google, Google won't even let me complete the yeah, there you go, see? Okay, just do google.com, that's all I'm asking. Oh, okay, at least that works. Let's just directly put in youtube.com. Your browser's outdated, but it actually still lets us proceed to YouTube. There's no way we can play a video on this thing. We only have like 256 megs of RAM. 2 minutes later, absolutely nothing is loaded. So the state of Safari on this thing is you can get the Google homepage to work. So given the honestly pretty funny results, I think it's pretty safe to say iOS 5.1.1, at least the stock version of it, pretty much unusable. But thankfully there's a dedicated community of people trying to keep like legacy iOS devices alive today. They got like a whole subreddit r/legacy jailbreak, they got tools out, so let's jailbreak this thing. Alright, so when it comes to jailbreaking old devices, there's this tool online called Legacy iOS Kit, and usually it has a bunch of like scripts baked into it to make this super easy. Found iPad 1 in normal mode. Okay, but before we jailbreak, I want to see if there's like a certain option inside of here. There it is, I knew it. Okay, so using this menu right here, we actually can unofficially upgrade the iPad to iOS 6 or iOS 7, but I want to stick to the base operating system for now, so we're just going to move on with the jailbreak. Alright, so what I can tell from the text here, it seems like it's like restoring the iPad or something. Debug, stage 2 crash lockdown D. Please run the Gilbert jailbreak icon to remount the root file system? What? I'm not seeing any sort of icon here because it's just like all baked into that one script, so I guess I'll just hit enter. After that, we've got installed jailbreak successfully, so yeah, the iPad is it's ready to use. While we do have the jailbreak installed, we're not really done yet because we got a bunch more setup to do. Alright, so, oh, what the hell? The G1 Bert JB. Oh, okay, so that's the icon we gotta click on. Is it gonna do anything? Oh, you know what? That's what it meant by hit the JB icon. I have to do this when it's like in the middle of the script. Alright, so where's the Mac I threw? Alright, running the jailbreak process again, it says that exact same warning. So now we're gonna unlock the iPad, hit that icon, and then hit return. Alright, so after letting that finish, I'm still not seeing the city icon over here. Okay, starting to get frustrated. Is there like a learning disability in play here, or does the script just not work? I really think I messed up this iPad by like not doing it correctly the first time, so what I'm gonna do to fix this, I'm gonna put the iPad 1 into DFU mode, run the script again while it's in DFU mode, and hope it works then. Oh, and when doing the restore, look at that, jailbreak by default, so I could've just done that the whole time. After doing all of that, do we finally have okay, thank you. I don't really think the certificates on this iPad are like up to date though, so this might not work. Extensions useful on iPad, what? Can I actually like download these? Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. All right, yeah, that's a bit of an easier fix. We just gotta head to tlsroot.litten.ca. Then we're gonna grab this signed iOS bundle, and after taking care of that, we should be able to download these, right? Okay, there we go. With that, we can say we're finally successfully jailbroken. And now to get the App Store working on this thing, we've got to add 2 repos. The first one is awiblog.jp, and the next one is cydia.invoxyplaygames.uk. Oh, and also, this third one I totally didn't forget about. From those repos we added, we install all of these tweaks, and then I'm hoping that fixes our connection to the App Store. Okay. New idea. Instead of relying on the App Store, because that obviously doesn't work, we're going to be using this utility called appinst, and what this is going to let us do is manually sideload the IPA files onto the iPad from the Mac. So keeping that in mind, I'm gonna hit up the Internet Archive, find a bunch of like apps for like online services like YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and stuff, and see if they still work on the really old iOS 5 version. And a bit of time later, I have everything I want to take a look at installed, and actually I only use like the command line IPA installer for YouTube. Everything else I installed on the iPad I was actually able to grab from mtmdev.org/webapp. This website is really useful because it's honestly pretty hard to track down the IPAs for this thing, and all you gotta do is like use it like the App Store. You just click on the app you want, hit install, and then you wait the 8 years for it to finish. But anyways, in the meantime, first off, let's take a look at YouTube. Now, YouTube on iOS 5 normally doesn't work, but thanks to this one plugin by this guy on GitHub named Preloading, it works completely fine here. If you want to get specific, the plugin comes from this repo, and the exact name of it is Tube Replacer. Honestly, this is pretty huge for the first gen iPad, because a lot of the use case for like even like the most modern iPad today is just sitting down watching YouTube for like 12 hours straight. So if you got one of these lying around and you want to watch YouTube at a, wait, what resolution is this? I can't even tell. How do you change it? Settings, yeah, this is before my time. I have no idea. I'm just assuming at like 480p because that's what it looks like. The point is, if you want to use your iPad for watching YouTube, this is still viable. Next up, we're going to take a look at Discord on this iPad, thanks to this app called Purple Cord, which is a Discord client for iOS 3. Again, if you want this for yourself, grab it from this repo up here. Alright, let's see. We get the iPad forced into portrait mode with a field to put in our token. After logging into the app with my token, we're actually able to access a pretty functional version of Discord here. You can read messages, reply to them, you can upload images from the camera this iPad doesn't have. Yeah, the app just crashes if you try to do that. Oh, and it seems like you can't actually, like, get the reply function to work, but you can type out messages from the iPad. Aside from that, images and text chat works fine too, but unfortunately when it comes to emoji, if they're too new, they just won't show up here. Yeah, and don't even think about calling on this thing. You can just chat in the voice chat channel. Tiny nitpicks aside, another pretty big win for the iPad 1. You can use the most popular messaging client on this thing still. I don't really think that's going to be the same case for Facebook though, because, does anybody really like that? Anybody under the age of 50, I mean. Alright, it's telling us to enter our email and a password. Okay, it said logging in for a few seconds, and now we're on this, so is the app gonna work? Network error. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately the Facebook client on iOS 5 doesn't work anymore. And I don't think any of like the nerds into old iOS have cared enough to fix it, so it's just gonna stay dead. Twitter's also kinda got like a similar situation going on. It's a pretty nice classic client, but unfortunately if you try to log in with like your actual Twitter account, it's not gonna work due to API changes. However, there is like a Twitter bridge made by the same guy who fixed up YouTube on this thing, so if you want, you can like redirect it to do Blue Sky, but it's Blue Sky. So Facebook doesn't work, Twitter works somewhat if you want to use Blue Sky, but what about Reddit with Alien Blue? Oh, okay, seems like this is just like a sized up iPhone app, and on the front page here, yeah, we're not getting anything to load. There is like an up-to-date patched version of the app that may work, but it's for iOS 6 and above, so we're not going to be able to play with that. Yet, at least. Yeah, and I know what you're saying in your head. Why don't you try to download it anyways? Because this is what happens. So, that leads us right to our next app, Minecraft PE, and this is actually the light version I grabbed from that website. 0.2.1 alpha. How old is this? Yeah, this is probably the oldest version of Minecraft you could find to run on this thing, and it actually still doesn't really run that well on the iPad 1. I mean, it's playable, but it's not really that smooth. It's still a way better experience than playing this on like an iPod Touch 4 or something, but still wanted to make note of that. The weirdest thing about this version of Minecraft isn't really the performance though, it's more so just the fact that the world just ends. Yeah, the iPad isn't taking its time loading this, you actually can't go further if you try. After that, we're gonna take a look at Spotify. There's no way in hell this works. Really sick use of the iOS 6 like linen background though. It could have fooled me for like an official Apple app. Unfortunately, it's pretty much exactly what I expected. You put in your correct login information, you get an error saying login failed with nothing else. Login failed. Could not log into Spotify. Maybe you've changed. What? Don't get philosophical on me. Next up, we've got Chrome, which you actually may think has like better performance or better compatibility than Safari, because like Safari came with the OS and this is updated after the fact, but they both use WebKit under the hood, so it's no real difference. Oh, take a look at the old tab design. Oh, and we got this like kind of weird bar at the bottom. Most visited, bookmarks, other devices. Oh, this is like the Google ecosystem thing they were pushing early on. Oh, you know, speaking of which, does dictation still work? Google.com. Oh, damn, wow. Oh, that's pretty convenient, actually. When you swipe down on the page, it, like, hides the taskbar, so you don't have to deal with it. That's a really nice quality of life feature, especially compared to Safari, where you just gotta stare at the thing the entire time. So even though they use the same engine under the hood, you might actually want to use Chrome over Safari, but wait a sec, what does this button do? You've gone incognito. We actually got a pretty cool design for incognito mode. I kind of wish you could just, like, use that theme by default, but oh well. What does it say here? Going incognito doesn't affect the behavior of other people's servers or software. Be wary of surveillance by secret agents or people standing behind you. You know, I really could have used that warning like 5 minutes ago. To be serious though, if you try to make a Google search, it just says your browser isn't supported anymore, which is really disappointing. It kind of makes it really hard to use the web on this thing. So that's the iPad 1 in 2026. Now, is this thing usable today? For the majority of people, I would say no. Like, dude, the App Store not working is what cuts it off for me. I mean, safe to say, if you're watching this video, you probably have like a lot more care for legacy devices and are probably gonna be able to like make something of it like I did here, but if you're like just the average person who doesn't really care and you can't log into your Apple account on this thing, it's just gonna get like thrown out of window. But with that being said, if you've got one of these lying around, honestly, it's not a bad device to like play around with legacy iOS on, because you could just load this thing like full of legacy iOS games like Minecraft, like just trick it out with like jailbreaks and tweaks. But even then, honestly, you may as well just like get an iPad 2, or actually the best thing you can do here is just get an iPad 4 and downgrade that to 6. As for the iPad I've got right here, I've actually got a couple more things planned for it, like installing iOS 6, iOS 7 on this thing, just seeing how far you can push it. And man, this thing's gonna be pushed because it's only got 256 megs of RAM, but I guess we'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching, and let me know down in the comments, what other Apple devices do you want to see me cover next? Alright, I'll see you later.